tutti, I'm Elisa and welcome to my art journey channel. Today in this video I'm gonna show you how I made my second art journal page. This is the one. You will have some close-up photo at the end of this video. And so if you like, stay with me and let's start it. So in the beginning I decided to start putting some color in the page to overcome the white page fear. So I have used my mini distress ink in the color mustard seed first. So I literally put it there and then try to blend a bit with the sponge. After that I was using also another distress ink color. It was peacock feather, but the pad was running out of ink, so I just put some color and then move to acrylic color directly, as you can see here. The theme of today of this page is about Mary Poppins, because I recently saw all the 3 movies and a lot of memories came back, especially for the last movie, so I decided to create one page about it. So I was imagining to put in the page the 3 big elements about Mary Poppins, so the umbrella, the bag and the hat. So now, as you can see, I'm switching with acrylic colors. The one that I'm using now is Panduro Acrylic Heavy Body Studio Paint. This one is emerald green. And this is the lighter color that I have. And I will then use also the darker green color, that is permit green. And I have also the yellow, like I'm using now, is primary yellow. I'm not worried at this point about precision because my idea was to build some contrast and reduce it with some stencil and stamp technique later on. So I'm trying to blend again, playing a bit with distress ink and with the acrylic, kind of trying to put the page together. So my idea is to have the lighter color in the middle of the page and then around all the light green and in the border more dark green as I'm using now. I'm now using some stencil. This is an old stencil that I had from like ages. So what I'm doing is that I'm not introducing any other color. I'm just using the same color, the same acrylic paint, just putting the yellow in the green part and the green in the yellow part, kind of making the page cohesive. I like the shape of this stencil about flowers. So it reminds me the flower that Mary Poppins has in her hat, and I'm then using also the leaves. So this stencil set is a set of 2 small stencil sheets. I purchased it really a time ago when I was in Belgium because my son liked it and I just purchased it. So this project is about using or reusing what I have already at home. So it's a kind of recycling project. So I'm continuing to do some stenciling until I'm happy with the result. And then I'm moving to darken it a bit with stamping with distress ink vintage photo. I'm using also here another old stamp set that I had that is a kind of background stamp. So I'm just using at the border of the page, kind of darken it a bit and kind of to frame it a bit. I'm now using the sponge directly in the page to darken the border, but I have to say that I really regret this step. It was much better before it because the stencil was not dried still, so when I put the sponge everything blend out. So okay, that says a lesson learned for next time. I'm using also directly the pad to darken even more the border of the page, and kind of to frame it even more. And then I decided to move to the focal point. So my focal point on the page, as you could see from the beginning, is the Mary Poppins bag, the big bag that she has. So I'm just drawing it by myself. I had a reference in my iPad while I'm doing this. And the reason why I'm doing with using this one as focal point is because when I was at university, I remember one of my colleagues told me, and I will never forget, that I was stressing my bag when I was at the university, like it was supposed to be a Mary Poppins bag, but was not so big. So I never forget that comment because it's true. I was putting so much stuff on that bag that I was not sure even. I didn't know how it could be that all those books and papers went inside that bag. But anyway, the paper that I'm using for the bag is something that I already have in my desk, and it's just dark black with some gold design. And then I'm just darkening it with my Sharpie pen, and I cut it out. I will also try to darken the border to kind of make some shadow. I was doing with the Sharpie and then smudge it with my finger, and then I decided to move on to using directly the distress ink all around the back. I then do the same for the umbrella and the hat. The paper that I used for those two is again from the same set, but is more a brown with some white dot. But anyway, it doesn't matter because in the end I covered everything with the colors. So I'm starting just drawing the umbrella. I doesn't matter if I made some mistakes because in the end I had to cut and color anyway. And to color it, I used the Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pen in color chromium green for the grip. And then I was using Distress Ink Vintage Photo to cover all the rest. But in the end I was not happy with the result. I also moved with to darken it up a little bit. I was using a black pencil, but again I didn't like it either. So in the end you will see me switching to acrylic paint again the same color, the same green that I was using in the background. But I have to say that in the end I'm happy with the decision that I made. So I like the green color. Actually the umbrella, Mary Poppins umbrella, is in black, but I didn't like to put black on the page. So I like in the end. Make more sense to have and keep the parrot color in the end. I'm not worried about coloring outside the line because in the end I'm gonna cut everything anyway. And I did the same thing also with the Mary Poppins hat. I'm using the same paper and I was just coloring it with the black acrylic paint from the same set that I have at home. And I was using some stencil to make the flower that she has in the hat. So I was using white acrylic paint and pink magenta acrylic paint. And then I fussy cut everything with my scissor and try to place everything in the page to see if I'm satisfied with the location of everything, every piece. And I'm using matte medium glue, Ranger, to put everything in place. I'm then starting to make everything alive, let's say, using my Uniball sign pen in white. I really like it. It makes everything more alive, really alive. So I was sketching here and there with the pen. And then I was using again the Pit pen in color Indian red and smudge it with my finger, because when you have the matte medium below and you have still some time before the Indian ink is permanent dry, so then I was smudging with the finger. I tried to do the same around the umbrella, but then I realized that I think I put too much glue, too much matte medium there, so I was waiting and I moved on to my focal point. The quote that I decided to put on the page is Supercalifragilistico. I know it's not the English version, it's the Italian version, but this is the one that I remember as my childhood, so sorry, it's the Italian way. I'm curious, by the way, which one is the phrase in the quote in English? I'm really curious. Anyway, I'm using Memento ink, black ink, to put the quote there. And then I was using again the Sharpie pen to darken it a bit more. And again my Uniball white pen to kind of pop the letter out of the page. So that's it for the page. I hope that you like. I really like it to play with the medium and doing some art. Let's say art maybe is a big word, but okay. I really playing a lot with it, and I enjoy it. So I had fun. I hope that you had fun as well. And I will put some close-up picture at the end of this video. And so see you next time. Bye.